The tale of life begins where order grew, in fragile cells that learned what they must do. From primal seas where membranes first were made, the dance of stress and balance first was played. Each breaking wave compelled a stricter line and shaped a rule that living would define. Defense emerged as logic pressed by need. A grammar life would suffer, learn and heed. A fragile spark within the waters stirred, as chance and law in parity concurred. A membrane rose, a border thin yet brave, to cradle flux no open sea could save. In that embrace, function and context paired, each held the other, living's weight was shared. But suns were brutal, acid split the seam, and toxins scoured the neatly folded scheme. The wall gave way, the gradients bled and died, metabolism faltered, starved inside. Survival now required an inward art, a sentry tuned to weather's breaking heart. So sensing codes awoke to read the storm and turned distress to disciplined reform. Buffers restored the redox's slipping thread, lipids reshaped the leak to hold instead. Thus stress became a tutor, stern and clear, arming the cell to mend, persist and steer. Yet traitor scripts invaded from within, viruses, jumping genes, unfettered kin. They hacked the code, the boundaries trust grew weak, the cell divided lacked the means to speak. To hold itself, it needed keener eyes, a blade to cut the counterfeit disguise. Then CRISPR arose, cutters sharpened script, its spacers held the records of the ripped. Foreign strands were cleaved from faithful text, the genome's law restored what came next. Selfhood endured by practicing this law, detect, then cleave, keep gradients under law. Ambition stitched the many into one, the architecture of a body, done. But tissue's mesh made neighbors rise and fall, a wound in part unbalanced nearly all. Thus broader watch and faster shared alarm were needed now to brace the gathered swarm. So pattern sensing beat its ancient drum, toll signals pealed, and complement would come. Phagocytes swept the breach with hungry grace, devoured the threat and sealed the wounded place. The body learned to rally cell and tract, to recognize, inflame, and swiftly act. But mimics learned the passwords of the gate, wore host-like masks to tamper with the fate. They dulled the bells, unlatched the guarded chain, and slipped through nets where markers once were plain. To tell such copies from the living's own demanded boundless ways to see the known. Thus recombining scripts unlocked the codes, as RAG and VDJ genes paved the roads. From numberless receptors minds were cast, clones rose and learned, then held a faithful past. Memory and breadth outmatched the guise, so mimicry met countless watchful eyes. Yet power turned and singed the keeper's hand, when self bore marks that scouts could not withstand. The blades once honed for foes beyond the gate, now carved the home they'd sworn to shield from fate. Confused by signs too close to what they knew, the guardians struck both false and faithful too. Without restraint the fire consumed the fold, and scorched the frame it once was meant to hold. To tame this blaze without disarming all, a deeper law arose within the hall. The self would teach its image to the blade, and test each hand before the ranks were made. The thymus taught the T-cells how to see, to guard the self, yet strike with certainty. Their guided watch held chaos in its clasp, and life endured, its balance forged to last.